I could die happy now. I just no-hit Distrust 2 Phase 1.
Hi, my name is Sil, and this is my first progression video. Since this is the first video in the series, I thought to myself, what is a better place to start than with a run that I've set my heart against at the cost of everything else? This is the progression of Distrust 2 Phase 1 no-hit. To start this, we need to go back in time. On New Year's Day 2022, top player Moros would do the first ever no-heal Phase 1, finishing with a 12 out of 92. For a first ever, the run was pretty solid. To understand the strategies, we need to take a deep dive into the run itself. Moros does the first attack exactly as a challenge runner's brain would tell them to take it. Because there is no randomness, this attack is 100% skill based. The second attack starts with some tight jumps which Moros isn't quite able to do some of. I'm not sure if this was due to panic or the input system that this engine uses, which is absolutely atrocious by the way, but on some jumps, he jumps too late. After the mini jumps, he jumps through the wall to the left and times his inputs just right to avoid being hit by these bones. He then completes this pattern as fast as he can to avoid being damaged by the left wall. Since the right wall moves slower, he can take his time on the way back. Once that is cleared, all that's left to do is jump to avoid being slashed and pray that you take as little damage as possible from this bone cluster. This jump is completely luck based. You can jump early or late, but whenever you do it, you have to hope that you don't get hit here. The third attack goes just about as one would expect. This is another skill based one, so there's hardly any difficulty in reacting to the patterns here. One thing to note though is that other no-heals hold X in this part of the attack, while Moros does not. Moros also moves the soul in this goofy pattern throughout the entire attack. Ugh. Fourth attack, again, is a skill based attack. You can get hit by bad RNG here, but not only is that rare, it's avoidable. How? Easy. Just aim the slashes away from the bone clusters. In this part, Moros moves back and forth in a way that doesn't get a perfect clear, but minimises damage as much as possible. Starting out the fifth attack with a sweltering 69 HP, nice. Moros jumps up onto the platform and falls back down again to avoid being slashed. He then moves to the left and back again to dodge this pattern before jumping on the platform again. He jumps like crazy to avoid the knives and does this part as best as he can. This pattern looks scary and you'd be right. You have to manipulate it just right with your soul position in order to do this properly. But since Moros is just doing a no-heal, he doesn't have to worry too much about getting hit. Sixth attack is another manipulation attack, albeit with more goofy mechanics. Seventh attack, yeah, it's another manipulation attack. In case you haven't noticed already, the patterns in this fight are incredibly precise. Precision attacks, combined with RNG, and a janky control scheme makes this pattern a complete mess. After not even bothering to stay in the middle for this horrendous attack pattern, he does another manipulation with the default click team diamonds and prays to the RNG gods that his HP stays high enough before going into the last attack. The last attack, also known as the Kit Kat attack, is where many playthroughs end. Moros reacts to the RNG in the first part, and platforms as precisely as he possibly can in the second part. This second part has the tightest precision in the entire game. You have to play just perfectly in order to be able to dodge these. And I'm not even talking about consistency. This last part is pure manipulation avoidance. Moros moves in this odd pattern which somehow is able to work 100% of the time to avoid the Kit Kats. And with all that, all that's left to do is remain calm and not fail to hitting the mini Kit Kats, these walls, or getting distracted by this Kit Kat before the end of the phase. This no-heal is hard enough to do on 1 DMG, which is the game's lowest damage mode. However, it can also be played on 2 DMG and 4 DMG. Curiously, I decided to try this run for myself, since the game looked interesting. I have played a Sega Sonic game before, Dust Belief, but I never actually completed it. Not until I did my no item run eons later, but that's not what we're here for. I spent the majority of my run coming up with inventive strategies, seeing what gave me the most HP out of any attack, and that led me to doing a segmented no-hit of the phase. Though the Kit Kat attack was one that I barely had any practice on, so I finished with exactly the same amount of HP that everyone except Moros did. 1 HP. Yep. However, I wasn't done. I wanted to see if it was possible to do this on higher levels of DMG, considering I made a segmented no-hit before then. 2 DMG only took me a couple of tries, and I finished with a 4 out of 92. If you translate this to 1 DMG, I only took 50 damage, so I actually finished with a 42 out of 92, setting a new world record. And then, I set out to do 4 DMG, thinking it was going to be easy. Oh boy, how wrong I was. On my 63rd attempt though, I finally did it, getting a 16 out of 92 HP. 22 damage when translated to 1 DMG, giving myself a 70 out of 92 HP. In the aftermath, there was simply nowhere left to go. Or was there? 2 months prior to the 4DMG no-heal, Moros made a first 4 attacks no-hit video. I actually got this too in my attempts of 4DMG no-heal, but I never actually thought to make it my thing since Moros did it first. Anyway, besides some goofy looking strats, this run was just about as close to perfect as this phase could get. Or so we thought. In his description, Moros says that doing the first 4 attacks is hard enough, so the idea of a full phase no-hit was out of the question. In his words, he said, "Nobody will try and no-hit full phase, because other attacks are more hard and with confusing patterns." And to that I said,
"Are you challenging me?"
And so, I made it my long-term mission to get the coveted Phase 1 no-hit. Over the next few months, I would play the game continuously, improving my PBs and getting better at the attacks. It would take a while before I actually had a run past attack 5 though, which is where most of my runs had ended at that point. In August of 2022, it happened. I got a run past attack 5, but then I failed at the gun attack due to the euphoria that I had when it was taking place. And then, nothing. Months went by and nothing. It seemed like getting the no-hit was just too difficult to achieve, and so I lost interest in the run in late 2022 when I achieved a no-hit without final attack.
Okay. Yes! No freaking way did I just do that.
I kept thinking to myself, that was it. I had achieved perfection. But deep down, I knew that wasn't it. But then, in February of 2023, while I was speedrunning the game, this happened. I almost got a flawless second half of Phase 1, only failing to attack 5 because of RNG blocking my path. Not only that, but I also got something that no other player had even been able to get close to. I no-hit the Kit Kat attack in a real run. And that was it. I had beat my previous personal best by a measly 2 points. Yup, part 2. Having an 83 out of 92 was cool and all, but later on in the year, I decided I was not going to sit around anymore. I was going to go for it, no matter what it took. And so in April of 2023, I started to stream attempts at getting the no-hit. The earlier attempts were very subpar. At first, I achieved an 85 out of 92. This says 86 as my best attempt, because I had another run that was on 4 DMG, and since it was done on that, I couldn't upload it as an 86 out of 92 run. The run was perfect up until attack 7, where I mistimed a button press and took a hit to the orange knives. Yeah, didn't I explain that the colour rules are swapped in this game? Because of underswap. Ugh. I then took 2 hits on what I dubbed the Whopper attack.
Did you get a Whopper?
And another 4 to the Kit Kats. 3 days later, I finally beat my 4 DMG PB with a 90 out of 92. I had another no-hit run going into final attack, which was sadly lost in the beginning part due to letting go of left too early. Do you realise how overly stupid this commitment was? I made it this far, and I lose it to releasing a key too early? Fuck! It was also around this time that I noticed another strange glitch. Sometimes, my inputs wouldn't last as long as I hoped they would, which would lead to random hits on the mini-jumps in Attack 2. Due to this absurd quirk, which I dub IAP, meaning inputs are piss, I chose to use macros for that part. Nowhere else in the run was affected by this decision, it was only these mini-jumps. Click team, I hate you with a passion! 2 days later, I got the most gut-wrenching fail in the entire grind.
What? Nothing was there. What did I get hit by? Are you kidding me? I'm -1, dude.
A -1. I took a hit to a gun bullet as I landed on it, which, in my opinion, was way worse than failing to a key press problem. The more I tried, the more times I failed with low hit counts. A second -1, and then a third -1. I felt like I was cursed. Even after I stopped using the macros as I found a consistent tapping method for the mini jumps, the game just wouldn't let in. Maybe this run was one that just had to stand for good. There was no budging it, no matter how many hours I put in. See, when a game is this close to a no-hit being done for the first time, all that everybody talks about is who is going to kill it. The thing is though, some of them simply aren't possible. There are some challenges that we cannot truly grasp. Undertale Last Breath Phase 1 no hit, and FDY Distrust Phase 2 normal mode completion were the big factor. Hey, wait, what's going on in the background?
Is going to become a reality.
2 days later, 2 days after I got my first -1, it was finally over. 1 year of continued effort finally led to Distrust 2 being taken down.
If we'll be united, we're stronger together. We always have the high home, not all for one, but one for all.
If there's anything to take away from a run like this, it is that persistence always pays off. Even though gambling is an incredibly unhealthy thing to do, especially when there isn't real risk involved, sometimes people give up before they win big. So go out there, keep following your dreams. Eventually, your lucky day will arrive.